This is crazy.
It's great, isn't it? It's like we're sailing straight into the cliffs of insanity.
So the hike actually starts on the next beach, but
There are pterodactyls. What the heck is that?
we've reverted to destruction.
Doing all right?
Hi, Daddy. Even I am admitting that this definitely doesn't feel like we're going the right way.
Some adventurers have machetes. Some take hacksaws and chainsaws and scary things. I have a twig.
Is that where we're going?
I think that's where we're going.
Face in a spider's web. Ah, it's still on me. Last time on Red Seas, we shared the bad news about our engine and then tried to take our mind off things by going for a hike to gain some perspective. We sailed up to Nuku Hiva and were blown away by the incredible support we've received from so many of you reaching out to give us encouragement and financial support in our quest to keep this channel going. If you're considering joining our Patreon or donating through TipJar, you can do that at red-seas.com/support. And we would like to say a massive thank you to everyone who has already been in touch to help us out. For now, though, it's time we went exploring here on Nuku Hiva.
This anchorage is not the best. Marquesan anchorages are known for having good days and bad days, and I think around this time of year, there's probably more bad days. So it's super rolly. We have been rocked all over the place. We've had a laptop bounce off the table. Yeah, it's just not the place to be. So instead, we've decided to go around the corner to a bay that a friend of ours recommended called Daniel's Bay, and it's supposed to be pretty spectacular. So I'm actually quite excited to go around there. It's a little bit further down the island than where we are now. It shouldn't take us too long, and it's a nice, easy downwinder. So yeah, this should be fun. Actually, I've been meaning to show people this right. So a while ago we showed this in a video, but we didn't spend very long on it, and we've had so many questions. We were showing like a speedy way to do a bowline, and it's like prepping the rope like this. And I'll show it again in a second. You just take the end that's going to go like through the sail or the anchor point, and you just pass it through this loop, and it means when you pull the whole thing tight, it just kind of rolls itself over and becomes a bowline, which is really cool and really fast. But yeah, we got those people saying like, how the heck did you do that? It's really simple, and I don't think we've invented this. This is normal practice. But take the anchor point and just take the line and fold it over once in itself like that, and then just put your hand through from behind and grab the line that's going to the anchor and just bring it out like this. It becomes this little loop, which is really simple and easy to do. And that way, when you get to the sail or whatever, you pass around your anchor point and just pass it through. And then when you pull it tight, it's going to roll over itself and magically become a bowline. It's really cool. Super easy, right? But we found it's good if you aren't going to something that's already under load, because it will snatch really quick and you can take your hand off. Not so good.
Wise advice.
But for things like tying on a barber haul, it's really cool because you can prep the line, and I just have to walk forward to this part, pass it through the sail, and then get back down to safety, and I can make the barber haul.
Beautiful.
Now that I'm back down and I've got safety, there we go.
Look at that.
Sailing tips. We never do sailing tips.
One other thing that we just added this week it's a really tiny thing, but it has made such a difference to shorthanding. So when there's only two of us trying to sail. So when we are setting sail and we're pulling our genoa out, you need one person on helm, one person pulling the sheet to pull the genoa out, and one person releasing the furling line. So that's 3 people and there's only 2 of us. So quite often the person who's on helm will be releasing the furling line. But if there's big wind and we're only going to like a first or second reef, then the person at the helm is left like holding on to the furling line while the other person's on the other side of the boat cranking in the sheet. And then if you have to make any changes at the helm, or you have to like release the main sheet or something as we're turning, then there's just not enough hands to do all of the jobs here. So Ian has just put this little, what do you call it?
I mean a cam lock, or it's like an old school cleat, like a cam lock.
Sure, a cam lock. So we've just put that on literally on the side of the helm seat, and then we run the furling line through it. So the person at helm can be feeding out the furling line, and then as soon as you need to lock it, we can lock it from right here with one hand, and it'll hold enough until we've done all the other jobs, and then we can go and put it properly on the winch, or we can lock it at the proper cleat down on the side of the deck. Such a tiny thing, but it suddenly means that, oh, I've got enough hands to do all the jobs.
Yeehaw! 6.5.
Well, this swell is just absolutely crazy. I mean, it was bad enough in the bay that we were in, and as soon as we've come out, it is just wild. But we're really hoping that when we turn into this little bay here, that we'll be kind of tucked around behind it. And as long as it doesn't wrap round the corner or bounce off the cliff and come into us, then fingers crossed we'll be a little bit more sheltered in here, because I was getting so sick of rolling around in there. I just need a break. Time to jibe?
Yeah, pretty much. We just clocked out 7.6 knots, so, and that's downwind with a reef in the Genoa. So it might be a good time to swing around and just aim. We're kind of heading, you see that kind of lit up little island looking thing there?
Yeah.
So we're going the left-hand side of that, then we're going to double back in behind all of these, or in front of all of these cliffs you can see, so it should be kind of sheltered.
Okay, let's give it a go.
It's like we're sailing straight into the cliffs of insanity.
I know. Oh my goodness, I am out of breath. We just were surfing those waves as we were coming into the pinch point, trying to keep as much speed so that we had as much control as possible, and then like quickly furling the sail. Our one engine seems to be holding us okay at the moment, but we're just really hoping that these waves calm down as we turn this last corner. The scenery here is just stunning though, look at this!
Looks kind of rolly.
And I can see a couple of other boats, but hopefully there's space. This is crazy!
It's great, isn't it? It's like a little oasis.
Oh my goodness, that was wild coming in.
So we just went from about 30, 35 knots true wind to 8. And we haven't even finished getting here yet. Like, it's
yeah, we just need the wind to tell the waves to calm down. You can literally see a line in the water where the waves are like proper rolly out there and crashing and rolling in. And then as they get past this narrow point, it just all becomes smoother. It's not as flat as I was perhaps hoping. There's like, I think 8 boats here already, and they are still kind of rolling around a bit, but surely that's better from where we came from. I still can't pronounce that town's name. Taiohea. We'll learn it eventually. All right, anchor down. But yeah, there's not loads of space in this bay. We're quite close to the boat line, so we've just dropped the dinghy and we're gonna do a stern anchor as well, just to try and hold us facing the same direction as everybody else, and hopefully we won't swing too close to anyone.
Usually, yeah, I grabbed the wrong one. That one's still got anchor chain on it. So I don't know if I've ever explained this, but when we got Indy, we got another anchor because we wanted something that we could rely on, and pretty much on this model of boat, everyone says get a Rockna. So we've got a bigger, heavier, spade-type Rockna, but for some reason the boat already had a spare anchor, which is great, but it means that we actually own 3 anchors now. So we could probably do it.
One on each.
Yeah, one on each fleet. Yeah, there you go. We could probably do with getting rid of one, to be honest.
Triangulate our boat. I feel like the last time we had this out was when we ran aground in St. Martin, and then we were just trying to stop ourselves like drifting as the tide came up. So we were putting off like side anchors. What do you even call it when you stern anchor but it's not off the back?
Kedging. We were putting anchors to drag ourselves across.
Yeah, we don't use them much, but they're very handy when we have to.
All right, so, you know, we were gonna stern anchor in here because it is pretty tight. We got all the way to setting up the dinghy, putting the anchor in it, running the line, and then we actually realized that it wasn't really holding where we were. So we'll see. We've moved it again. We're slightly further towards this shoreline here, which is good and bad. Doesn't seem to be too rolly, but it does mean that we're quite close to the little breakers here, and I think there might be a bit of a reef to watch out for. So we'll leave the stern anchor in the dinghy, and that way, if we need it, it's a fairly quick deployment. What's really cool is one of the boats that's here already came out to say hi, and they're actually leaving tomorrow. So if we really have problems, we can always move a little bit over and take their spot. But I didn't get to look up until we finished anchoring. And that's insane. That's absolutely beautiful.
So I know I introduced the new stackpack project a couple of weeks ago now, and I've just been working on it for hours and hours in the background. It has nearly killed me. But today, the new stackpack is ready and finished. It is looking really cool, and all we need to do is swap it out for the old one. So we're going to lift the mainsail, hope that we don't get blown away in these gusts, and see how easy it is to swap out. But it should make a huge difference. I am so excited to get this old name off our boat, which is long overdue. And yeah, this horrible blue color that I really don't like, all of the tears and everything. Oh, it's just good riddance.
This still has to be one of the sneakiest, cool design choices they made on this boat.
I know, right?
So easy, and it's just conveniently lines up perfectly to the main halyard.
Yeah, when we first bought Indy, we didn't know this trick, and winching this mainsail by hand is a beast. Oh, you've got a batten caught.
Good, though. How's my back battens?
Yeah, you're clear.
Somebody's gone for the approach of tie 1,000 knots.
If you don't know the knot, tie a lot.
No.
So now that the sail is up, there's no weight in the stackpack. So we're just gonna untie it at both ends and then drop the lazy jacks and then see if we can kind of slide it out of the track. The bolt rope that is in the track for this stackpack, I'm reusing in the new one. So we have to take this one out and then repurpose it slightly, and hopefully things stay calm enough while we do that before we put the new one on. What else do you need to untie?
So our reefing lines, watch yourself. Whee. Our reefing lines tie around the boom, and then they go up through, I forget the name for the little holes in the sail. Someone can tell us. They go through these little metal holes, and then they come back down in the back of the boom. But they go through the stackpack, so you have to untie them and redo them. Hopefully without capsizing our boat.
So fiddly. I guess we like never undo these knots, so they're quite set in their ways.
Do not let go of the lines. Next up, we just have to get this half of the stackpack through the other side to the other side of the boom, and then we should be able to just slide the whole thing out in one piece. And if we're lucky, this big cloud won't come and hit us between now and then.
I hadn't really thought about how we were going to get the rope out of the old stackpack. I thought we'd just be able to pull it out, but surprisingly it was made a little bit too well, so we've reverted to destruction.
You build stuff, I break it, that's the deal.
Success!
Success! Right, roll up the old stackpack, thread this through the new one, and then get it back on the boom, because Indy looks naked.
She does, doesn't she? She's very white with no personality. What's going on?
Oh, look at it, it's a thing of beauty.
Oh, it looks amazing. Okay, so when I was sewing it together, I put like a temporary line inside this little pockety thing, but it's not as strong as the bolt rope we should use. I'm now noticing that it's narrower, so I really hope that the bigger one is going to fit. But we're just going to tape them together and try and pull the whole thing through.
What could go wrong?
So far, things have gone pretty smoothly, and I remember saying the same thing when we took the mainsail down to repair it. We were quite surprised that it actually worked.
Obviously, I knew it was going to work. Obviously.
I broke it.
2 seconds you lasted.
I was trying to be so neat. You might be the tape man for this.
Is that because I used to be a professional tape person?
Yes. Can you fix it? Yeah, I know that many of you think that I used to be a teacher and Ian like worked in technical things and audio and stuff, but really your profession was just wrapping things in tape, and I was at one point a professional children's party entertainer, so quite the storied past.
You used to have to dress up as a princess and sing songs to 6-year-olds.
It was so much fun!
Can you imagine her in that job? I don't know.
No, so out of place.
It's a vocational thing, isn't it? That should do it.
We are getting dive bombed by these local frigate birds. There's clearly like a bait ball right underneath the trampolines or something because they are coming in so close.
Get the reefing lines back on. I still can't tell if they line up correctly, so we'll figure that out as we go.
I just stopped filming and nearly missed you getting blown off the hard top.
Oh no, I've been walking back and forth like this for the last 5 minutes. It's great.
You could have landed in the dinghy.
With a bit of a leak, yeah.
So I've been putting the battens back into the batten pockets, which went in quite smoothly, possibly like smoother than I was expecting. However, I didn't actually think to measure the battens. So the battens that we had in our old stack pack are maybe, I don't know, this much too long for the new stack pack. It came off another leopard 47 with, you know, everything is the same. It's all the same size and dimensions. So I just assumed that everything would line up. But we'll figure that out in a minute. I'm going to tie on the lazy jacks now and hopefully they line up. And then we should be good to drop the sail again.
All right, so I'm just tightening up all of the batten pockets for the 2 long batten sticks now that we've got most of the lazy jacks tied on. And Brownie's just on the very last one. Very glamorous look you've got going on.
Well,
Brownie?
that's why it works so well. You've got to lie down and then when the boom swings over, just goes right above you and doesn't knock you overboard. I'm fine.
I think you can just leave the sail up like this and get some real peace and quiet. Doing all right?
I'm dandy. All right, here's where we get our first glimpse at the beauty that is the new stack pack. If I can be strong enough to lift it. They're quite heavy. Should have lifted it before we put the battens in. How are you supposed to get any kind of weight behind it when it comes out so low to the ground? I actually can't lift that any higher. I can see some orange. Woohoo! It looks so cool. Everyone's gonna know who we are now. It's mostly looking good and as I expected. We're gonna drop the sail and see how it kind of all settles once everything is down and packed away. Hopefully the zip works and closes up, but oh, it's just looking so much better than the old one. I'm calling that a success. I know we're not quite finished, but I think it looks really, really cool. I am so pleased to have the old boat name off our stack pack. It, of course, has been something that we've been like meaning to do since day one. But to buy that much fabric and to make a stack pack is a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of skill, and we just weren't able to do it up until now. So
we don't have the time or money.
I'm not sure we have the skill. But we made it in the end. We have a second-hand repaired stack pack, came from Kumatu. Thank you so much, guys.
You guys rock.
You are amazing, and it looks so cool. And now we don't need to be embarrassed when people ask us what our boat name is, and we have to tell them it's not the one that they're looking at. We're now Indioko, we're proud.
We just have to get rid of the name Charter on the boom next. It's still there.
We'll get there eventually. So
we've decided that it's time to get off the boat and head up. We've heard about a waterfall hike out here and we are looking forward to a freshwater shower. The only thing is we have to shut all the doors and windows on Indy because this particular bay we discovered last night is very, very buggy. Look at this. This is absolutely disgusting. This is just from last night. And all of these bugs have given their lives trying to get in to eat our food and sleep in our bed. In fact, while I'm talking, they're actually on my hand. Ugh. They are actually disgusting. So we've shut the doors and the windows and we've left the fans on and we're just kind of hoping that's going to be enough to dissuade them from entering our boat and, I don't know, maybe go and hang out on the beach or meet some of our neighbours.
And the stack pack looks so cool. We were like so close up to it yesterday when we were kind of finishing it off and fitting it that you kind of have to guess what it looks like. I want to drive away from it and see how far away we can still read the letters because that was just a total guess of how big to make them. And I hope that orange stays orange and doesn't just like bleach to white in the sun in like a week. We'll see.
Okay, link is secure-ish, let's just say ish. But I have to admit, I'm already liking this hike because it starts with a freshwater foot bath. How good is this? Okay, where do we go?
So the hike actually starts on the next beach, but we can only get there by dinghy at high tide, and I forgot to check the tides. So I think we just have to like walk up and over. Once we get there, there'll be a path, it'll be great. Probably this way?
It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? What's happened?
Face in a spider's web. Ah, it's still on me. I thought I saw somebody else reaching their dinghy 5 minutes before we did, but I feel like if I've just walked face through a spider's web, they probably didn't walk this way.
Probably not. Do you want to take a stick ahead of you?
Yes, I want to just put you in front of me.
Oh, I'm not a stick.
It's just right there.
What's happened now is this is a proxy brownie hike, meaning she's putting me in front. Oh, there's spiders everywhere here. There's no way that somebody's been ahead of us. It's like literally a huge spider right there in front of me.
I've got a weapon for you.
Some adventurers have machetes. Some take hacksaws and chainsaws and scary things. I have a twig.
And you're all the braver for it. Intrepid explorers, that's what they'll call us.
One in the face.
I'm just walking along like this so that I don't kind of accidentally breathe one in.
Oh, hello, buddy.
Oh, wow, look at that guy.
Yeah. Does want to clamp on the stick.
Oh, not making friends today. Okay, so even I am admitting that this definitely doesn't feel like we're going the right way.
I think chances of us finding our way home if you look at that.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking, that it's not really much of a path that we're following, and if we turn around to try and get back to the beach, I'm not entirely sure how we would follow a path to get back again. We also seem to be like turning away to the right when we most definitely want to be going to the left and over a mountain. What's the problem?
I think we ran out of path.
That definitely looks like a massive boulder just blocking the way, being like, nope, not going this way.
I know, but should we give up now?
Give up? No, but maybe try a very, very different tactic.
Tactical retreat.
All right, I'm calling it. We're turning around, we're starting again. So back to the beach and we will look for the proper way to go. Okay, so this is where we're trying to get to, like around the other side of this little mountain. So we're going to sort of head into the trees and see if we can get right along the edge and scrabble along rocks and stuff. Sure, I'll be fine. This is looking positive.
I think we may have actually finally found the path. Weirdly, you don't have to hack your way through a rainforest. You can just stick to the coastline and go around the corner.
This is like the boring version for boring people.
Still a mistake.
So I realised that the instructions I read about the path
took us entirely the wrong way in the first place.
They were for a completely different hike. We got to the start of the path and I was like, it's strange because it said that you should like aim for the east side of the bay and we kind of want to go west, and it said that you should turn right and we want to go left, and none of this is really holding together.
And then I looked it up on my phone and it said hike to the ridge, which is a completely different part of the island.
And doesn't have a waterfall. But we've just got to a fork in the road and I did read something about taking the right-hand side. So we're going to take the right-hand side and see if second time lucky I get it right. Do you want to split up and you go that way and I'll go this way?
Maybe we have to, just chance our luck.
And never see each other again.
Send smoke signals.
Give me a whistle. Beep, beep, come and rescue me.
Civilization.
I think we're on the right track. Whoa, look at that view. That just came out of nowhere. We'd been like walking through kind of dappley forest. It was really nice and cool. And then suddenly it's just like, oh, loads of palm trees. Whoa, massive mountain behind him. That's incredible.
This is very cool. So clearly we've landed in someone's back garden / allotment. I don't know. But like there's coconuts everywhere, but you can tell there's coconut crabs because they've all had a hole pierced in them. So I'm really looking forward to finding our first big coconut crab because they look pretty intense.
There may be a slight flaw in our plan. We need to get one of the cows and ride it across the river. That's really cold. It's quite fast flowing, so it's easy to knock you off your feet.
That's why I'm letting you go first. I get to see you fall in. This is quite fun because the guy who's doing some gardening with a chainsaw over there has just seen what's happening, and now Brownie's just the entertainment for the village. Success! You made it!
I really enjoy the idea that we were following what was a path through a forest, and we were like, no, this doesn't feel right. But as soon as we come to like a knee-deep river, thigh-deep river that you've got to walk across, it's like, yeah, this feels absolutely spot on. On we go. Success.
What do you expect to find in the middle of a tropical island?
Every modern convenience.
This place is ridiculous.
That's always a good sign when you walk out of somewhere and it says, danger, don't go in there. landslides and everything.
Well, well done.
Too late.
Didn't die.
I'm really sorry if this footage is getting so repetitive, but literally every time we turn a corner and I see another view like this, I'm just literally stopping in my tracks to go, oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful.
And it's back to being a brownie hike.
You're the one who said balance on those floating bamboo logs and just, ooh. Balance is not my strong suit.
See, floating log, perfect.
Floating log. You didn't walk the whole way across it.
I can make it look like I did.
Yeah, but if you fall in, all that's green and yucky. And we've come 3 more steps and someone's actually made like proper stepping stones here. There's not even a puddle, there's no need. Make them at the river. So it's such an interesting hike because we haven't seen people since that kind of first house at the farm thing. But everywhere we look, there's like signs of civilization. So there's piles of logs that have been chopped up, or we saw a tent back there.
Yeah, someone's camping in the middle of one of the gardens, I think.
So I'm not quite sure like how much of a village is here, or if we're gonna like stumble upon a city halfway up to the waterfall. But there's clearly people around at some stage.
I think, yeah, I feel like this is almost a forestry situation.
I hear a river.
Don't hear a waterfall yet.
No, I think we've got quite a way to go. So I guess this is the point where we cross back over the river. I'm not sure how many times we're going to have to do that. Fingers crossed it's not too deep.
Ah, it's fine. This is okay.
Oh, that looks fine.
Not even a crocodile.
This kind of reminds me of where I grew up. And I lived like totally in the middle of nowhere in the countryside. And you'd have to drive through the lanes and you'd have all of these trees like growing out of the hedges over the top. And it was like a tunnel that you would go through. Just like got a proper flashback to 20 years ago. That was quite fun.
For the record, it probably wasn't 35 degrees rainforest in the middle of the Pacific, but yeah, just like UK, just like Cornwall.
Oh my goodness.
Ridiculous.
Is that where we're going?
I think that's where we're going.
It's absolutely like Jurassic Park.
We've just been hiking through like the dark, shadowy forest, just staring at our feet because it's really muddy. And then we just came through this opening here in the trees.
Oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
just unveiled pterodactyls and Richard Attenborough. That is immense. That's huge. There's no way to really show this on camera, but at the top of this mountain over here, they look like fully grown pine trees.
Yeah, right.
And that's a pterodactyl flying in front, I'm sure of it.
I could honestly believe that.
That is nuts. Look at this place.
And all the palm trees between here and there, like, that's crazy.
I can't, like, we can't even zoom in to give it a sense of scale. Like, it's just huge.
Wow. Looks a bit like Thailand with these big towers.
Yeah, these little spars of rock. It's strange. Chimneys, I suppose they're called.
What are you doing?
We were just flying the drone, and because you generally stand still while you're doing that, my legs just got covered in mosquitoes, and so I'm now trying to ice the bites, but it's not really working.
You're just going to have to lie down in the river instead.
So itchy. They were everywhere. Like my legs were covered in them.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Whew.
So I know we get a lot of people telling us that we shouldn't wear flip-flops for all these hikes that we do. But I still declare that every time you get to a river and you can wash off your feet and cool down, so much easier than if we were wearing hiking boots. It was slightly problematic just now when it got like super muddy and our feet were like sliding around inside our flip-flops, so we had like zero grip. But now that we're washed off and clean again, it's back to fine. It's much easier. So we've reached a river which is just kind of joining up to 100 other rivers, but it means that the path is really difficult to see now. We're just sort of wandering through splashy puddles, climbing on rocks, and there's a lot of open space, so it's really not very clear where we're supposed to go. We can hear the waterfall though, so it's like, well, we know the general direction. Uphill, I guess.
The worry is we have no idea how to get back from this because there's no path to follow. So we're just going to see the trees.
We should leave breadcrumbs.
Maybe someone has.
Want to give us a Red Seas history lesson about these ruins?
Sure, yeah. So these are tiki ruins. You can tell by the distinct shape of kind of like an arrowhead, actually, going in that direction. These were barracks. This is the toilet and bathhouse, which is filled in a little bit with the leaves, but, you know, could be serviced and renovated easily if you wish to take this fixer-upper opportunity.
Oh, are you selling this now? Property baron.
Yes, it's a history and property sales pitch.
It's like a Holidays in the Sun kind of TV show.
Fantastic natural light. It could be east facing, you wouldn't know because of the forest.
And freshwater source nearby.
Freshwater source and great for visitors who want to hike for 2 hours up a mountain to visit you covered in mosquitoes.
Yay! We're definitely on the right path because the river is getting louder and the mountain is like right above our heads now.
That is insane.
I think we're almost there.
It's ridiculous. So we've pretty much hiked in between two cliff faces. And I think the waterfall's just around the corner here, past this black one and toward that brown one. And there are pterodactyls. What the heck is that? It's like a bird with a tail that's 3 times the length of its body, flying in circles in the valley.
We've actually gone back in time. It's a magic rainforest.
Whoa! It's like hanging over us.
We're having to walk so slowly now because we're not looking where we're going. We're just walking around like this, looking up. It's like, I don't know, it's like a cathedral made out of just massive cliffs and rocks, and I have no idea how this formed or how long it's been here, but it's just like nothing I have ever seen before. I can see it. If you kind of look underneath this tree, there is a waterfall.
Does exist.
It's absolutely huge.
Hey, Bri, look up.
Very squidgy. But we made it! But the water's not quite as nice as I was expecting. It's rather brown. So the freshwater shower we were hoping for. Maybe we'll stop at one of the rivers on the way down and go for a swim.
Also, I'm pretty sure I can see things swimming in this that are eel-shaped. It's okay though, there's no crocodiles here. There's just
Bitey eels.
Nibbly bitey eels, yeah. Like it looked like, I probably didn't catch it. I tried to catch it on camera. It looked like something between a catfish and a moray eel.
Oh, delightful. So the water might be kind of brown and muddy, but you cannot get over the scenery of this place.
Ridiculously cool. I mean, this is Jurassic Park. This is every Hollywood movie that's ever tried to do like remote islands in the Pacific. Yes, yeah. This is it.
They actually exist. It definitely feels like something that you would see in a film. I have never been anywhere in the world like this. And here we are. We're sitting here in the middle of like some kind of open air cave thing.
Open air cave thing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like someone's just like scooped out this massive rock and made a little walkway in. You look up and there's like, you can't see very much sky.
There's birds nesting in the cliff faces, I've just seen. There's waterfalls like the main waterfall, but there's also like a little light shower waterfall over here.
Yeah, like the waterfall comes down into a pool, and as it goes alongside, you can just see all these little raindrops, like a constant misting of rain, because it's just coming everywhere over the top of the cliff. Oh, it's amazing.
It is crazy. So, you know, if anyone ever wants to take a holiday, it's a place to come. This is nuts. Time for some food though. I'm starving.
I'm so hungry.
This place is incredible.
I was making a really funny face because I was about to say something, so I was like... But it is incredible.
You say it. I'm Ian. I very nearly should have had Ian.
And I'm Bryony. And we're sailing! amazing!
And we said goodbye to life in Scotland to set out on the adventure of a lifetime.
How happy are you?
I'm so delighted.
After a rocky start involving blackmail, homelessness, and hitchhiking on boats throughout the Caribbean, we finally bought our boat and settled into our new home.
Our little rescue cat needed a lot of TLC, and somehow we muddled our way through, learning how to add solar panels and lithium batteries, as well as repairing our sails and fiberglassing a keel back on.
Life on Indioko hasn't all been plain sailing.
And about half hour in, we have our first casualty.
We basically got stranded in a city for 24 hours.
We've had 3 or 4 days of constant rain, of 60-knot winds. It's with great sadness that I have to announce the Kraken is dead.
But we're in pursuit of this adventure and we can't wait to find out what's over the next horizon.
I caught a wahoo!
It's bigger than you!
We've sailed over 10,000 miles and crossed the Pacific Ocean. We did it! But we are nowhere near stopping. I can't tell if I'm dreaming.
They're like the friendliest pirates in the world! Woo!
Step off the back of the boat and just see a whole new world.
Look at this, it is paradise! This is amazing!
We've had a blast visiting remote islands.
I could live here!
Exploring wild jungles.
You sure this is the path?
And meeting more than our fair share of friendly sea life.
Whales!
Whales, just right there! Some manta rays swimming around the boat. This is just insane!
There's so much more to see in this world, so jump on board as we set off on our next big adventure.
We can't promise that everything will go to plan.
Oh no! And as soon as I took the wheel, I knew that our steering cable had snapped. That did not go to plan, but everything is safe, packed down, and we're just trying to lower our heart rate.
But that's what makes it fun.
Let's do it!